Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Sunny. I'm doing this recording to show my trade. I'm a couple of days behind on my recording, but I gotta get to it. Um, Not today, but yesterday I was trading this stock. Um, this was what's the date today? The sixth. So this is the fifth. Um, I was trading this stock and pre-market, or this is market open actually. Um, I'll give you like a summary of what I have performed and go into my trading. But basically, um, I was being very undisciplined, um, and that's the least of it. I let all emotions just kick in and take over because I was so upset with so many different things going on. My jobs are like um, trying to fire me. They wrote me up. I'm on my final now, which I don't really care, but like it's annoying and it's gonna play a difficulty on my on trading because you know now my income to maintain my personal life is now being threatened, and I gotta leave because it's like I gotta get in a better situation. Um, so that really threw me off yesterday because I had got a message saying that I had to meet up with him regarding these issues that we're going through. So it kind of threw my trading off because it was stressing me out. So I underperformed, um, broke a lot of rules, trying to focus on making money so that I don't have to worry about work anymore and bills. And I was forcing trades. I was trying to force things to happen, and as you can see here, in one of the examples, I underperformed. Um, um, so I traded this stock, and I traded what damn near market open, right? Yeah. So it had this massive pullback. Um, I told myself it's gonna have a second pullback, but I got it anyway, hoping that it would bounce. But it was so close to VWAP. Excuse me, I'm spitting. It was so close to VWAP, but at the time I didn't even think of it like that. I'm like, VWAP is 54. This is 4 cent difference. But at the time, I thought that was a far distance from VWAP. There's no actual way to gauge how far it is from VWAP, but just know anytime a stock spikes and pulls back, it's going to have two pullbacks before it starts to correct itself. Um, so I chased it right here. I was supposed to cut right here at 49 cents, 0.4912, but I refused to cut. I was being very undisciplined. I was refusing to follow my rules, and it came pulling back on me, and I just held. I I didn't want to lose. I think I was already down 200 for the day, and I'm like, I have to make it. Or this was a stock that I ended up being down on, because I was influenced by my personal life, trying to force trades to happen that weren't there. um, and I basically just try to make something out of nothing. Not sure if there were shares available short in this stock, but I ended up holding it for hours. Where was I at the time? I was at school, and I held the stock for hours, and trying to make a profit off of it, and ended up the better time to actually trade this stock was The better time to trade this stock was right here, where as you can see, it had the second pullback. If I missed, I most likely would have missed this entry right here and probably chased it up here, or maybe try to get it right here. Um, but if I would have guaranteed, most likely would have missed this entry, chased it here, or try to get it somewhere around here. When I see that it hold 46 cent right here, it stayed above 46 cents the whole way, including this one. So then I would have held it here. I could have held it here, made a few cents, and probably sold into this, but I doubt I would have sold it in here because I would have been looking for a home run, because that's the state of mind that I'm in right now, and I gotta regulate that because you can't be going after home runs. You're not always gonna get them. So then it pulled back, bounced up here a little bit higher. I would have probably still held on, or probably sold at some point. But overall, um, the stock ended up not going my way. Um, it failed, and then right here I finally cut. Um, I didn't even cut at where I was supposed to originally. I didn't cut here neither. I ended up just cutting. Well, I cut based off of this support right here at the 46.46 cent. But I know my order got executed a little bit less, and I lost like $250 or $200 that day, yesterday, and I was really frustrated because I allowed my personal life to interfere with trading. Um, and yeah, that was that trade for that day. Um, I also got into ticker symbol um, KTTA right here. Um, I gotta look at it and remember how I traded it. But let me see if I can find it. Give me a second. So trading this right here. Um, Looking back now, I don't know why I got into this. I think I was just desperate. Um, but um, and I should show the SEC filings. Um, this was OGEN right here. Um, it's pretty self-explanatory. 11 million float, high risk overall. But I won't go into all that because I shouldn't have traded it. Period. It's not about just the SEC filings. It's about my discipline in this yesterday. My discipline was poor. But what made me get into the stock, that it was at $1 million float, a million float, not dollar, but just a million float, and it was moving like a low float. The risk was medium overall, uh, medium risk overall, medium offering, um, high overhead, um, low historical, but a deficit in cash. So this stock went from $2.40 to almost $5. So, and it came crashing down damn near 50% of this spike here. So why am I getting into this? Um, I don't know. I don't even remember, but this was just poor. Looking back now, I'm like, bro, this shit don't make any sense. I don't know if these were missprints or going these trades were going through selective I forgot what they're called, but selective this right here. I forgot what their name. I forgot their names. Market makers. There you go. Selective market makers, but um, most likely that's what happened here. As you see these wicks here, um, I thought it was a misprint, but I'm like, these market makers are. I could see on the level twos, the market makers are at time and the time and shares, time and sales. Those orders were actually getting through. Um, so excuse me. Um, I got in here. I think about $2,000. Um, I started pulling back on me. I can tell when it spike, but um, I was down. I got in too high, and I was down already. And I decided that I needed to add because I'm like, if this does go up, um, it's gonna take me from at that point it was like around like the lowest $3. They call it $3, right? 290. The lowest 292. I had to make back roughly. My entry was low overall. I mean, my entry was poor overall. So in order for me to like make back some money and more, or just make come break even, or not take too much of a loss, um, I had an idea that it would bounce, but I had to add to lower my average, so that if it bounced, I didn't have to wait from 292 all the way to 230. I mean 330, 20, 30, 40 cents just to break even. So I had to lower my average. So I came in here with 2 grand, added another grand, I think, or 2 grand. And then when it spiked or pushed up, I made a quick profit. I think I made like 20 cents per share. So it was about, $200-300. It wasn't much. I think I made $200-300, maybe $700 on one of these trades. But all I remember is that I was down um, $200. Then I made back $200 or $400. I was up 200 for the day, and I was like, "Oh, okay." I mean, I made $700 on one of these trades. It could have been BBAK or BB something right here. Um, I don't remember, to be honest with you. That's why I like placing trades right after I'm done trading, so I can have a better understanding. Um, yeah, it was this stock. So I lost on the first one, made a few extra bucks on the second one. I think I either broke even or made a profit, a little profit. But uh, this stock right here, um, so yeah, I tried short selling this stock. Um, Let me go back to the beginning. So it was just uptrending, 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 like a stair-stepping pattern. But I knew at some point um, it was gonna dump. But with these stair-stepping patterns, you don't know when. They can go on forever. Um, but I just saw like a big pullback here, and I thought now was the time. So I just was like, hey, let me give it a shot. And it bounced up here, and I'm like, all right, let me give it a shot here at the highest point or close to the highest point. Um, So I got in here. When I zoom in, it don't make much sense, but when I zoom out, it does. So when I got in here, um, I thought it would keep going down, and I think I was up like 200 bucks right here. I didn't take it because I'm like, if this goes the way I'm anticipating, it's gonna dump. And then it didn't, and it started climbing up, climbing up, climbing up. And I eventually got covered. I did not follow my rules. I told myself I was going to cut here, but then I was like, that's not high day. It doesn't make any sense to just cut where I want to cut. But if you're chasing, you can't cut at high day because it's too far away. You need to cut right here because you're chased it. Like when you're longing, if you buy high, you sell quick because you chased it in a sense. Um, Same thing with shorting. If you short low, you chased it, so you need to cover quick because it can just quickly, rapidly bounce back on you. Same thing with shorting. It can pull back on you if the move is already gone. You gotta get out quickly. And in this case, I didn't. I was supposed to cut here, but I'm like, nah. The accurate area to cut is high day. And I'm like, looking back now, I didn't think of it, but I'm looking back now. I see where I made my mistake. I better understand my mistake, and that's all that matters. You improve, but um, I didn't cut, so I should have just been like, "Hey, I bought high, or I shorted high, or shorted low. I need to cut quickly and place based off of this resistance point of $6.97, $7." But I didn't, and I played off of this one, and I still didn't cut. Or I did, I guess, close to it. I hit a market order and it got a bit higher, but close to it. But I didn't follow. I broke my rules right here, not cut when I was supposed to right here. And I did. I cut right here because I'm like, at this point, I'm gonna lose my whole account if I short. Shorting is far too risky, and I knew I was gonna lose my whole account, and I could not afford that. So I just cut. And I was like, you know what? Let me just reverse it. So the same amount of shares I got in right here, I just bought right here. I think that was like $200,000, $300,000. And it started pulling back on me, and I was like, "Fuck, man!" But I was like, because it's a stair stepping pattern, I know it's gonna pull back and climb back up. I just gotta be patient. Um, so I did that, and then I started adding here, adding here, adding here, because I'm like, same concept as the other stock, KTTA. Uh, if I waited, so far away from my average that if I get in, and I got in at damn near high point, a high day, didn't wait for a pullback like I told myself to. But high day was like 733. I think I got in like 730, 726 maybe. Who knows? And then it pulled back um, damn near 30 cents. So I would have to wait an additional 30 cents plus more to get back to be break even or make a profit. So I added, which is bad discipline because it's like you don't add the losers. You're not supposed to add the losers, and that's what I did. Um, I added to a loser, and even if I added to the loser, it could have broke this support, and I would have lost way more. So those are two bad strategies, and that's what I did. And I shouldn't be doing that, but I added, and it started perking up, perking up, perking up, perking up. Broke high a day, and I was up like who knows. But clearly, I didn't sell because I probably wanted more. And it pulled back, and I was probably like devastated, upset, beating myself inside, and just telling myself. I remember telling myself, just keep patiently waiting. And then it broke past this high to the 750s, and I was like, hey man, fuck it, I gotta get out because it got close to 750. I should have sold, and I was up like $700. And then I waited a little bit longer just to make what an extra 8 cents. from 7:45 to 7:53. Not worth it, bro. I should have just took the gains right here and call it a day. Thank God, thank God that I actually sold here, because as you can see here later, that's when it finally crashes. Was a shorting point that I was looking for. I haven't shorted in a while, but this was a shorting point that I was looking for, because I knew it was gonna dump. Um, this short went from 753 um, down to like 7, and then came down even more to the lowest point, roughly what, 650, 665. So, oh, I'm sorry, I did the math wrong. It came down all the way to 676, and then the lowest point again here was 665. So I would have made damn near over $1 or close to $1 if I would have shorted here. Now I didn't know where I was gonna dump. I didn't. I was just anticipating it here, not predicting, but anticipating. Two different things. Look it up if you don't know the difference. But fortunately, I did sell. My younger self and my undisciplined self probably would have held this long, went through the roller coaster of being dumped on, and hoped that it rolled back higher. And even more undisciplined self would have held into the next day, hoping that it would go into my favor, which the stock ended up going higher, but that is not a strategy, bro. When it pulled back here, I was telling myself I should long it, but I thought the move was over, um, and I didn't want to stick around to find out. Um, that's when I mean stick around to find out. I didn't want to long it to see if it would work. But I mean, something like that, you expect it to bounce, but not all of them bounce. But fortunately, this one eventually did. Excuse me. Um, and I put it on my like watch list, my mental watch list, to watch it the next day, and that's why you see me trading it here, because I think I was at work in the middle of the night, and once 4 o'clock hit, I opened my computer. Um, what I was trying to do was I was trying to long it as soon as it hit 4 o'clock, but my computer or their computer at work, that piece of shit was just taking forever for the software to open. After I logged in, it just took forever to open. I should have logged in like 15 minutes before time, but I logged in like 3 minutes or 5 minutes before time, before pre-market open. Now I shouldn't be trading pre-market period, but I've just been seeing opportunities and I'm like testing it out. But my success rate on pre-market is really low, but it's not about your success rate. Can you cut when you're supposed to cut? Can you keep your losses at a minimum? Because you can lose 90% of the time, but if you cut and you cut out and keep your losses at a minimum, and you only lose out of that 90%, you only lose 10% of your your account. But when you do trade, you know that other 10% when you're actually successful, that makes up for like you make 10x your account or whatever, or a substantial amount over your losses. Then that's all that really matters. But I thought it would keep spiking up here. I bought here. It was perking slowly. I wasn't ready to like go full size because pre-market. I wasn't like I'm not comfortable going heavy size in pre-market, especially if it's not liquid. Um, so I longed it here for like 2,000 shares, I think, or 3,000. Most likely 2,000. I'm trying to stay disciplined on 2,000 only. Started perking up, perking up, perking up. I was up like 50 something cent. Um, and then it didn't go my way, so I sold. Um, that's the trade for yesterday and then a little bit of today. Um, as you can see here, for the rest of the day, the stock just took a dump, really. Um, a short seller would be great and happy. Um, But this next video I'm about to make right now will go further into how I performed.